Hello, friends of the vinyl community. It's Tim, and I'm about to duck down the vinyl alley for a few minutes of respite from the torrents and tides of the real world. It's a glorious Saturday here on the east coast of Canada, and rumor has it it's supposed to go up above 0 degrees Celsius this afternoon. And good Lord knows the March always ushers in a degree of optimism that's most welcome. Um, so, yeah, so I hope everybody has a weekend of memorable moments. I'm thinking lately maybe of starting a series of 10-minute-ish videos and case studies on some records, maybe on some artists. I think sometimes we show records and maybe there's not a whole lot of talking about those records, and I just maybe yeah, I'll give it a shot. If there's interest, we'll continue on. I've been exposed lately to, well, I've gone down this rabbit hole of power pop, new wave, post-punk, sort of 77-ish to 83 music that's now very new to me, and that I missed at the time it was ongoing, I guess, or going on. I've been able to sort of, in the last year or so, I've been able to collect quite a bit of it because it's usually reasonably priced, and $4 or $5 records, you get some of this, and you're exposed to a lot of wonderful music that maybe has been overlooked in general. Alejandro Escovedo once said in the song Chip and Tony, the lyric is, "All I ever wanted was a four-piece band," and to me, that's the glory. There's no greater glory in rock and roll than a four-piece band. So a band I want to talk to you briefly about today is called The Vapors. And The Vapors are a UK band, I think formed 79-ish, and had some connection with the Jam. And I know toured with the Jam, and I think we're exposed to a great audience at that time, and management, some overlap there, but I don't know all the details per se. I do know they released an album in 1980 called Nuclear Days. Nuclear Days. So the nuclear, I don't know. Anyway, nice play on words, and this is the cover, 1980. Four-piece band, guitar, bass, drums, vocals, and maybe the odd flourish of keyboard, but ultimately that's the power of rock and roll right there. Musicianship of this band is exceptional. It's clearly a case of the whole just being the sum of something great. The whole is just something great. It was released on United Artists label. And it has an inner with the lyrics. The album's in excellent shape. What you probably may or may not know is that you probably know the Vapors a little bit, because they had this, the lead song, the first song on this record, was also a hit single called Turning Japanese. And I'm sure at some point in my life it was a bit of an annoyance or something. But I can't say I ever really listened to it, but I have now recently acquired this record, and that song came on, and I realized it's exceptional. It's definitely an earworm. It's got a ska-like feel to it, that sort of oriental guitar riff, that da 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 da, you know, really, it hooks you. And like I say, the musicianship is exceptional throughout this record. Side two, I would say, has more of the power pop leaning. Side one has that ska feel a little bit, some Joe Jackson, Look Sharp era feel to it. But side two is just really chugs throughout, and doesn't really let up. It's a song. It's a record that makes you want to move, and it surprises you that every next song is as good as the one beforehand, so to speak. Like I said, incredible record. In 1980, before I put this record down, in popular culture reference here, Kirsten Dunst was an young independent actress in the late 90s, maybe, early aughts, who went on, we did enter the Hollywood Bowl at some point, but in 2008-ish, she did a video of Dirty Japanese, a music video, shot in Tokyo with tongue firmly in cheek, and it's kind of a fascinating, fun watch, and especially if you're familiar with Kirsten Dunst's work or the song has any meaning to you, I guess. So anyway, fun popular culture reference there. Their second album was released a year later. The same year they break up, right? And the fast, 2 records and done, and like I say, the way this band plays together is just exceptional. It's kind of a shame that moment of glory came and went so quickly. This is their second album called Magnets, and another popular culture reference is the artist of this intricate, amazing cover is the same artist, the same person that went on to do Where's Waldo a few years later, and it just shows you that stick-to-itness can pay off. But it's a fascinating record and captivating, and it's just you never see it the same way twice. It likewise comes with an inner, and the inner is I think sets the tone that this might be just a little bit more of a darker record. You have Jimmy Jones, Hitler, Vladimir Lenin, I think probably Idi Amin here. Certainly a more ambitious record, a darker record overall. Really quite an intelligent record. And without going too far down the road of politics, but certainly focuses on disenfranchised feelings, disillusionment, isolation, the power of the state. And really, you read these lyrics and you listen to these songs, they have as much application 42 years later. And that's maybe a scary thing for sure. It's on Liberty Records, by the way. So just to give you a couple of examples of, I'll just say maybe the music is not as playful on Magnets, but it's all strong. It's all really interestingly arranged. The harmonies are still there. The hooks are still there. Though there's some songs that I would say are a little more sort of just to give you a feeling of, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe just almost more mechanical or repetitious, but that's not all the songs, and even underneath that, the rhythm section of the bass and drums here are exceptional and provide grooves and intricacies in a playful way. Just to give you a couple flavors, and I think some of the lyrics in this are just real heady, and it starts off with Jimmy Jones, so anyway. So the lyric here is, there's a rumor going round that the garden's not the place to be, and little Jimmy's in the dark between the devil and a deep blue sea. And not all promises are what they're made of, And spiders. The next song talks about she has got spiders inside her head. She's in danger. She's easily led. Civic Hall talks, I think, about somebody trying to express their concerns, the right of assembly, free speech, being crushed by the states, the overreaction to that expression, and God knows there's a lot of that these days. But they weren't convinced no matter how I tried, and they pinned me against the wall, and my homemade jam in my plastic bag lies broken by the Civic Hall. And despite all the chaos and the I don't know, I guess, the disillusionment being painted here, side one finishes with Live at the Marquee, which says, I'm okay, I'm alive at the Marquee, when there's Live at the Marquee. So live music and the power of that community can be transcendental. I think that takes on. Side two thematically continues. They don't break up in this record. And it finishes with the title track, Magnets. And I think the lesson here is that the natural culmination of all this sort of mind control and disillusionment and so on is authoritarianism, and the generals grit their teeth and smile just for a little while until they think they can't be seen. And so I think that's, again, that's a lot of poker faces going on there. 42 years later from the creation of this record of the Vapors, I think we can say, it's okay to rely on your own senses. You don't need to be told what you're seeing if what you're seeing is likely what you're seeing. Anyway, it's just neat that music can transcend decades and still have applicability. And I'm hearing that record 42 years later, and just appreciate everything that's behind it and feel the music on both those records. And maybe you'll take a chance to go out and look at the Vapor someday. If there's any interest in carrying on with a series like this, I know it's a little more talking, not so much show and tell. Let me know, or I guess if I don't hear from you, I'll know. Anyway, have a great weekend. Seize your opportunities and love each other.